All right, let's dive in. Today, we are going to tackle one of the most fundamental skills you need in Linux, managing users and permissions. But look, we're not just going to list off a bunch of boring commands. No, we're going to tell a story. Think of it as Linux for heroes, where you are about to learn how to wield some serious, godlike power on your own system. So, picture this. Our Linux system, our digital world, is under attack. A villain has just shown up, a real powerful baddie named Thanos, and his entire goal is to snap his fingers and wipe out half our user accounts. We just can't let that happen. So, to fight back against a threat like this, we first need to figure out who we are on this system. What's our identity? What are we even allowed to do? Once we know that, we can start building a team. Yeah, it's time to call in some heroes. Okay, first step is a really simple command, who am I? It does exactly what it sounds like. It tells you who you're currently logged in as. And right now, we're this generic user 86527. Is a start, but as one single user, we're pretty vulnerable. There's no way we can stop Thanos all by ourselves. So what's the plan? Well, it's pretty obvious, right? Avengers assemble. We need to create brand new users on our system. These are going to be our heroes, and they're going to help us defend our world from this attack. Let's kick things off with Thor. The command to bring him on board is add user Thor. But hold on a sec. A normal user like us can't just create other users. We need to borrow a little power from the root user, the super user, the big boss of the whole system. And we do that with this magic word, sudo. So the real command is sudo add user Thor. This one's interactive. It's going to ask you for a password, some other info. It's like you're filling out a complete hero dossier. Now, you've actually got two main ways to create a user: add user and useradd. Think of add user as the full, thorough recruitment process, the full dossier on the left. It's interactive, it creates a home for them, sets a password, does the whole shebang. Useradd, though, that's the quick call-up. It's fast, it's non-interactive, but it's kind of lazy. It cuts some corners that are actually pretty important. So let's try that quick way to bring in Iron Man. Sudo useradd Iron Man. And that's it. It just happens. But this lazy way creates some real problems. Iron Man doesn't have a password, he doesn't have a home directory to store his stuff, and his default command shell might be the wrong one. We're going to have to fix that stuff manually. So where does the system keep track of all our heroes? Well, it's all in this one file, /etc/passwd. This is basically the user roster for the whole system. Every line is a different user, and it's broken down into these fields. You've got the username, a little X for the password, unique ID numbers, their home directory, and their login shell. And right here, you can see the problem perfectly. Look at Thor's line. It's all filled out. Now look at Iron Man's. No home directory and the wrong shell, /bin/sh. Not good. But don't you worry, we can totally fix it. There's a command called usermod. That's short for user modification, and it's the perfect tool for the job. We can use it to change pretty much anything about a user's account. So, using our sudo power again, we'll run usermod and set Iron Man's shell to the right one, /bin/bash. Problem solved. Okay, so our team is assembled. They're getting suited up. Now, it's time to talk about the ultimate power on a Linux system. It's time to talk about the Infinity Gauntlet. In the world of Linux, the Infinity Gauntlet is the sudo command. It literally stands for super user do, and it lets a normal, permitted user run a command as the all-powerful root user. This grants them temporary, godlike powers. It's like you're slipping on the gauntlet for just a moment to do something huge. And that brings us to a really, really crucial point. You do not want to give this power to just anyone. Which, of course, leads to the big question. Who gets to wield this power? Can any of our heroes just walk up, pick up the gauntlet, and start using sudo? Well, let's see what happens when Iron Man gives it a try. He tries to use sudo and nope, access denied. He gets this message right here. By default, new users have 0 sudo power. The system flat out tells him he's not in the sudoers file. And my favorite part, this incident will be reported. It's a very serious no. So what is the sudoers file it's talking about? Think of it as the rulebook. It lives at /etc/sudoers. And this one file defines exactly who can use sudo and what they're allowed to do with it. This file is so critical, so important, that you should only ever edit it with a special command called visudo. It's designed to stop you from making a typo and accidentally breaking your whole system.
So inside that file, you're going to find rules that look something like this. Now, I know it looks a little cryptic, but let's break it down. That percent sign at the beginning means we're talking about a group, not a single user. In this case, the group is named sudo. The rest of it basically says that anyone who is a member of the sudo group can run any command on any machine as any user. It is total absolute power, and it's a super common way to give people sudo access. So instead of just adding all our heroes to that default sudo group one by one, we can be a little more strategic. Let's create our very own source of power. A brand new group we'll call Infinity Gauntlet. The plan is to give this group all the power, and then we just have to add our heroes to it. It lets us manage all their permissions at once. But we gotta move fast. Because while we were busy planning, Thanos made his move. He found a vulnerability, he tricked an admin, and somehow he got himself added to a privileged group. He has sudo access now. He's got the gauntlet, and the final battle for our system is about to begin. He's about to snap his fingers. With his new, terrible power, Thanos uses the userdel command. His first target? Spider-Man. And just like that, with a single command, poof, he's gone. This shows you just how destructive these admin powers can be when they fall into the wrong hands. And he's not done. Next on the list is Doctor Strange. Another quick command, and another hero falls. The losses are piling up fast. It seems hopeless, but our remaining heroes, they have a plan. It all comes down to this, Iron Man's plan. First, he needs power. We use userdel to add him to our Infinity Gauntlet group, giving him the sudo access he needs. Step 2, seize control. With his new privileges, he immediately removes Thanos from that same group. The threat is neutralized. Step 3, bring back the fallen. He quickly recreates the accounts for Spider-Man and the others. Step 4, defeat the villain for good. He uses userdel to completely wipe Thanos' account off the system. But this last step, this is the most important one. He destroys the power itself by deleting the Infinity Gauntlet group. This is what we call the principle of least privilege in action. You never leave that kind of ultimate power just lying around when the crisis is over. And with that final heroic snap, our heroes save the world. See, they won not just because they had power, but because they had smart management of users, groups, and permissions. They understood exactly who should have power, when they should have it, and, most importantly, how to take it away. So, we've seen how to create heroes, how to grant them immense power with sudo and groups, and crucially, how to contain and remove that power. These commands, these are the keys to managing any Linux system, big or small. So the real question is, now that you know how to wield the